Electronic Arts, you guys know, is the publisher company for Apex Legends. But if I asked you what's the first thing to come to mind when you think of EA, I think we all probably know what each other thinks. So that's why I was pretty shocked to see what I saw in the news today. Plenty to discuss in today's video, so make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below for a chance to win the Seer heirloom. Today is your last day to enter in, as we're going to be picking that winner tomorrow. Also, thank you guys so much for 96,000 subscribers. We're only 4 away from the big 100K. I cannot believe it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about Apex Legends. First thing that I wanted to mention that was regarding yesterday's topic, I told you guys that we were actually experiencing a little bit better of situations with Apex Legends right now, with the numbers climbing back up, and finally I think we're about to hit the peak player base since like September. So apparently things are like getting at an all-time high from where they were like 4 or 5 months ago, and that's a really good thing to see, because we know the last couple of months of this game have not been good. A lot of negativity, a lot of negative news, and finally, like, we've got a good, pretty decent event right now with control mode. We've got private matches that are here. We've got, you know, another collection event coming next week with that hardcore battle royale mode, and then we got an anniversary event. We've got the season 16 launch, all of those changes and buffs and nerfs, a new gun and all that stuff. So like, we know why the numbers are going up. It's very obvious. It's just good to finally be in this scene again. Well, Garrett also kind of toppled on top of all of this to show the numbers on the Steam charts yesterday, saying for the first time ever, I couldn't believe this, and it's kind of weird and just goes to show you what the Apex fans really want. But for the first time ever, both mid-season events have beat the season launch day player counts. We had a higher peak at the Winter Express event and a higher peak at the Spellbound event that we did at the season 15 launch, which had a brand new legend and a brand new map, which is kind of crazy. It just goes to show you people are sick of the whole rinse and repeat cycle of a new season. We don't just want map changes or a new map. We want actual content to play. We want new modes to play. We want new fun to be had and actual things to do in the game. As I look at some of these other seasons down here, I just can't help but notice how massively underrated season 14 was. I mean, honestly, that was probably the best filler season that we've had in a while. The numbers were high. People were enjoying it. People really loved to use Vantage. I think, honestly, the fact that you have a movement legend that could do that stuff, fly around, and that sniper was so fun off of launch. I mean, honestly, that season was so underrated. So we've already discussed this, right? Good thing that numbers are coming back, but we've also seen some good things that we're not used to seeing in EA. And I know it's not like crazy groundbreaking news right here, but if you know anything about EA and you've been playing Apex for a little bit, you're going to be pretty shocked to hear this information regarding EA and some decisions that they've decided to make that I'm pretty proud of them for. So we know that there's another collection event coming right after this event, which is crazy that we've had like 3 this season. But we actually know we're not getting another heirloom with this one. It's going to be a reactive Peacekeeper skin, which I swear to you, if it's $160, I'm popping the top, which, now that I think about it, makes me feel a little bit less proud of them for this than I was before. But we know EA loves money more than Eugene Krabs himself. So when you talk about their biggest money grab, which is always a collection events with selling heirlooms, which heirloom do you think a legend should have that would make them the most money? I think it's very obvious, and most people would agree with this, that if you say anything but Horizon, you're simply wrong. Horizon is a very well-known and loved movement legend that gets a lot of attraction and has a very high pick rate. Amongst the very highest pick rates that we have in the game, most all of them already have an heirloom, and we know that they've been the biggest sales of heirlooms. So it's very obvious that if EA wanted to make the most money possible, which we would assume that they do, considering they always do, they would just release a Horizon heirloom and call it a day. But they obviously had the option to bring her heirloom and make the most money possible, but they openly looked at their options and decided to balance the game instead. Horizon has been an insanely powerful legend as of late, and you guys have probably already seen the stuff about the bugs that came out, and obviously she got a little bit of a nerf when you go on the gravity lift, you know, her shots aren't accurate, what's going on. Then a dev says, whoops, this was sent out too early. We know we got to wait for ALGS to be over and all of that stuff. So it looks like she will be getting a nerf, but it's also not just that. She's going to get a double whammy nerf. I saw this from 7 earlier, so apparently people did not see this. But not only did Horizon get a tactical nerf, and will she be getting another tactical nerf whenever this happens, but she also got an ultimate nerf. So as you can see from the video right here, normally when the Horizon ultimate is thrown, and anything in that radius is going to be sucked in towards the middle, even if it's behind a wall. But now we can see that if a Gibby bubble is there, which is very common for end games and stuff, you're actually going to have little to no effect from the Horizon ult at all, which makes Gibby so much more viable if there's a Horizon meta. Obviously, if she's getting double nerfed, she's definitely not going to be in the meta anymore. We could also see that when there was a wall in between this, you just have like full range of motion behind this wall. So it makes the ultimate ability for Horizon that much worse. She's getting nerfed to the ground, and that's why they decided to not bring her heirloom. So instead of making all the money they possibly could could with the most popular legend, highest pick rate to make all the money for the heirloom. They decided to just balance the game. Did they balance it too much though? I don't know. It kind of looks like they're nerfing her to the ground. I know it's baby steps, and obviously this should be a given. EA should always be doing this, but you know, I'm not used to them taking the balance route over the money route. So props to you, EA. Keep it up. Then again, it also feels like they couldn't bring it anyways because it's kind of been forced for her to get nerfed at this point. And what's also funny is they decided to bring the Seer heirloom, and guess what? Seer's getting a massive nerf in this next season. So they're probably not going to bring that Horizon heirloom until she gets beefed up again and she gets a little buff. She's too overpowered, and then they sell it and then they nerf her back, which is exactly what's happening with Seer. Now lastly, I wanted to make mention of this little update that we did have regarding some of the events that we're going to be playing. You guys know that we've been talking mostly about the limited time modes and the updates and the new game modes that we're going to be able to play, especially with this new season. For a while we've been thinking it'll be like a limited time mode for the Valentine's Day event where you guys are using the bow, and if you deal damage to your enemy and you're near your teammate will get their health. It's like a Cupid bow thing. It's like all bow check bows and stuff. But we now know from Synos that this is actually going to be a takeover, which means that duos is not going to be available at all, and you're just simply going to have to play date night. From what I'm hearing though, it's got a lot of like Valentine's Day quips and a lot of like I love yous and I love you too's, and it's probably going to get really cringy. I just hope it doesn't become like a community outrage like when Mad Maggie became the announcer of the Apex games and people were sick of her voice. Now speaking of this takeover, it kind of brought up the topic again about Stormpoint, because Stormpoint should be added back into the map rotation next season since we didn't get it at all this season. And Thornton Smash actually brought a conversation over to Twitter that I wanted to make mention of, because if we do see Stormpoint back in this, is it likely obviously that we're going to see also this Watson Town takeover that should be over at Stormpoint as well? Saying other than the Watson Town takeover for Stormpoint and Apex Legends, what other changes would be good for the map? Goliath size answers only. We've also seen the whole stuff about Goliaths being on the map in the past, and all of this stuff looks and sounds cool, I guess, considering it's new stuff to add. And I guess I can't complain about new things changing, but if I get third partied by a freaking Goliath because I already have and died by a Prowler before, I'm going to be ticked off. Now just before we close out the video, I have a little challenge for you guys. You guys know we've been giving away a free Seer heirloom that we're picking tomorrow, and what I'm doing is picking finalists from every video and then spinning a wheel with all of those finalist names. So if you want to be picked from today's video, then give me your hottest take when it comes to the maps of Apex Legends. I have stood by this, that Stormpoint is a better map than Broken Moon. Broken Moon is the worst and most boring map to play on by far. I don't know what it is, and I wanted to like it so bad. It just simply is not it, in my opinion. But then also I saw this the same day, Burno also said the same thing, saying that Stormpoint is like, you know, the best map on the game right now. And I just feel like, you know, at the end of the day, I don't care what anybody says, Broken Moon is just not it for me. So let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section below. Leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. As always, I will see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and until the next time, I will see you all later, Gators.